Hello my friends and welcome to another video. I am really excited about this because I am going to be letting you know what books I will be reading for the Autistic ReadAthon that I will be hosting on Twitter, and you can use the hashtag Autistic ReadAthon on Instagram if you would rather do Instagram and post pictures of your TBR and stuff there. But otherwise it'll be mostly Twitter that I use at this time. So let's go ahead and get into this so that this video is not forever long. There's only 5 prompts, and so I have 5 books. I do have one book I have ordered, but it's not going to be here until like the last couple of days of May. So if I can get that one in, it'll just be like a bonus read, and I'll tell you about that in the month wrap up if I got it in or not. So let's go ahead and just talk about the books that I'm going to read for the Autistic Read-A-Thon. If you can hear licking, Hobart here is giving himself a bath. Max is sleeping, so we might hear some snoring, and Hobart will fall asleep eventually. So prompt number 1 is a new to you author. Now, all of these books that I will be talking about are new to me authors, so I could pretty much pick any book. So when I was building my TBR, I had to start with the other prompts, and then basically whatever was left got put there. So for that, I am going to, for a new to me author, I am going to be reading Viral Nation by Shanta Grimes. I hope I said that right. So this, as you can see, there's a girl on a car, there's a bulldog. Yeah. Now, I don't really know about this, so I'm going to read the synopsis, so we'll find out what this is together. After a virus claimed nearly the entire global population, the world changed. The United States splintered into 50 walled cities, where the surviving citizens clustered to start over. The company which ended the plague by bringing a life-saving vaccine back from the future controls everything. They ration the scant food and supplies through a lottery system, mandate daily doses of virus suppressant, and even monitor future timelines to stop crimes before they can be committed. Okay, so this is the main character is autistic. I think the author is autistic as well, because I searched authors that are actually autistic. This author came up, so I'm pretty sure the author is autistic, but the main character is autistic. And remember, that's one of the guidelines, is that either the author needs to be autistic, the author of the book needs to be autistic, and or a main character in the book needs to be autistic. So this is where it tells you that the main character is autistic. It says, brilliant but autistic 16-year-old Clover Donovan has always dreamed of studying at the Waverly Stead Academy. Her brother and caretaker, West, has done everything in his power to make her dream a reality. But Clover's refusal to play with her beloved service dog denies her entry into... refusal to part with her beloved service dog denies her entry into the school. Instead, she is drafted into the Time Marines, a team of company operatives who travel through time to gather news about the future. And then it says... basically, it says that one of the missions that she is on reveals that her brother West's life is in danger. So obviously, she wants to try and change that fate to get him out of danger. So there you go. Time travel. If you really like time travel, there you go. Prompt number 2 is to read a book where a cover, or the cover of the book, in some way makes you happy. So for this, I went with On the Edge of Gone by Corinne Doivas. So to me, when I first saw this book, the stuff going up in the ships going up into the sky. I love the stars on it. And then the ship's going up into the sky. So that gave me the indication, plus kind of how things are just kind of like the street is all broken up, things are going into the sky. It gave me the impression that this is sci-fi. I like sci-fi. What I like more than sci-fi is dystopian. And with the character here, it also gave me the background right behind her gave me the impression that this is dystopian. Dystopian makes me happy. So I've never read a book and I did look it up. This is a dystopian and it is sci-fi. I have never read, that I'm aware of, a dystopian and sci-fi book. So this will be interesting. Let's see. On January 29th, 2035, not far off, that's 14 years, 13 and a half, if you want to be more specific. Let's see. That's the day the comet is scheduled to hit. Denise and her mother and sister, Iris, have been assigned to a temporary shelter near their hometown of Amsterdam to wait out the blast. But Iris is nowhere to be found, and Denise is worried they won't reach the shelter in time. Then a last-minute encounter leads them to something better than a temporary shelter. A generation ship that's scheduled to leave Earth behind and colonize new worlds after the comet hits. But each passenger must have a practical skill to contribute. Since Denise is autistic, she fears that she'll never be allowed to stay. Can she obtain a spot before the ship takes flight? And when the future of the human race is at stake, whose lives matter the most? That to me sounds like an important, and I hope it's a big thing in this book. Are neurotypicals, or people that are not autistic, are their lives more valuable than people who are autistic? No, they're not. Everyone should be equally valued. And I can understand her fear that she won't be allowed to do something. I've had that fear several times before I even knew I was autistic and not understanding why I had that fear. So I am really excited to get to this book, and this makes me even happier. But yeah, so this cover makes me happy. Prompt number 3 is to read a book where the cover contains your favorite color. So I don't care if it's one flower on the book that has your main character, or if it's like a sky and one little stripe is your favorite color, or even the title or the words or something like that. As long as it's somewhere on there, it counts. So for this one, I do know for a fact that this author is autistic, and the author was diagnosed later in life. I believe on Goodreads it says that the diagnosis occurred a couple of years ago. I can't remember if it was like 2016 or even more recent than that, but fairly recent. And this has been around book 2 a lot. And there is a sequel that's out that I really want to read, so maybe I'll save up and get the sequel so that I can have it for the next time I host the Autistic Read-A-Thon. That would be fun. So, this book is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. So basically, now this one, I'm not going to read the back. I'm going off of what I've mostly heard on YouTube, which is that the main character, what's her name? Stella Lane. She works in the math field, and she is on the autism spectrum and doesn't really know much about romance and being in a relationship. So she hires a male escort, and rules are broken and a relationship forms. So this is a romance. Yeah, but I've heard this is very, very cute, and I am really excited to read this. So I don't know if I don't think I did, but my favorite color is blue. there is a lot of blue. His jeans are blue. I forgot the name of it, but that little swooshy thingy that's for division is blue. The cover overall is a shade of blue. So I'm excited. And the author's name on the spine is blue. So a lot of blue on this. And I love it. I think it's cute. Prompt number 4 is a book that gives you summer vibes. For this, I am going to be reading The Someday Birds. This is by Sally J. Pla. The reason this one gives me summer vibes is because of the vehicle here, that it looks like, and then you have the mountains and some trees, and he's on a road. So it looks like a road trip that you would take when you're on vacation. Yeah. Only 2,500 miles of fresh air, family, and chaos to go. The Someday Birds. What the heck is wrong with me today? So let me try reading the synopsis on the back, because again, these are things that I've heard about or picked up purely on the cover. So yeah, I really don't know anything about this one. In Someday Birds, The Someday Birds is filled with humor, heart, and chicken nuggets. Oh, I love chicken nuggets. Let's see. Charlie's perfectly ordinary life has been unraveling ever since his war journalist father was injured in Afghanistan. When his father heads from California to Virginia for medical treatment, Charlie reluctantly travels cross-country with his boy-crazy sister, unruly brothers, and a mysterious new family friend. He decides that if he can spot all the birds that he and his father were hoping to see someday along the way, then everything might just turn out okay. So, now, I don't know if any of the characters are autistic, but again, when I searched authors that are actually autistic, Sally J. Pla did come up. And finally, prompt number 5 is to read a book that has something that you're interested in on the cover. So this has something I am interested in, but it gets me very frustrated because I have trouble following instructions. I even bought years ago a book that told me how to do this, but it wasn't specific enough for how to do it. And like with the arrows, and it's like, do this to this and this to this. It was just confusing because it's like, wait, now which one's first? Does it matter? It was just not specific enough. But I would like to learn origami. There are birds. These are origami birds. Swans or whatever animal they are. This is Standard Deviation by Catherine Heine. So, there's that one. Now this one says, Graham Kavanaugh divorced his first wife to marry his girlfriend, Audra, a woman as irreplaceable as she is irresistible. Graham soon learns that Audra's spontaneity and sense of whimsy can also be exhausting. Whether welcoming persnickety house guests, gathering invitations to the weddings of strangers, or shepherding her son through origami club and awkward play dates, Audra firmly believes she can tackle any social situation through sheer force of personality. She's even determined to establish a friendship with Graham's first wife, Elspeth. Graham doesn't understand why, exactly, Audra is so keen to bond with the woman he used to share a bed with. After all, former spouses are hard to categorize. Are they enemies, ghosts from the past, or just people you know really, really well but don't love anymore? As Graham and Audra share dinners, holidays, and late glasses of wine with his first wife, he starts to wonder, how could he possibly love two such wildly different women? And what would life be like had he chosen wife number 1? I think this will be really good. And I really, really do want to learn origami. I have just had bad experiences with it, but I still really, really want to learn origami. And I just need a book for how to fold things that is specific so I don't question and doubt things and then have things turn out really bad. So, yeah. So these are the 5 books that I will be reading for the Autistic Read-A-Thon. Please remember or note if this is your first time hearing about this. I will try to link the announcement video in the description box if you are interested. This runs for the entire month of June. So, yeah. And I will be hosting reading sprints on Twitter. I'm not sure how to do that on Instagram. I will need to do some research to see, because I would also like to do that on Instagram for people that use Instagram way more than Twitter, like myself. So hopefully for within the next couple of readathons, I'll be able to do so. But that's pretty much it. So I will have all of my social media information, my Instagram, my Bookstagram, my the Twitter page that I have, and my Goodreads, all listed in the description box. And before I list all that, I will obviously put the announcement video for the Autistic Read-A-Thon, where there will be more information discussed. And I will also list the Twitter page for the Read-A-Thon. So again, if you want to use Instagram, it would be #Autistic Read-A-Thon. So that is all for this video. So until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.